Hi, ladies and gentlemen, fellow traders. Welcome to another episode of Weekly Forex Outlook with Chart Engineering Pro. We really appreciate you for taking the time to watch this video, and we do not take it for granted at all. If you haven't yet subscribed or are new to this channel, kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any content we post here. And if you also find value with what we share here, be sure to like, drop your comments, share your views, and share this video to your fellow traders or anyone who would find this information useful. We would also drop a link to the free Telegram group where we'll be sharing updates of these setups as the week unfolds. Without wasting much time, let's have a quick recap of last week's setups discussed in our previous video before we dive into next week's analysis, so stay tuned. This is Brent crude oil. Last week we were anticipating the price was going to pull back to any of these areas of interest to give us buying opportunities to the upside. Price never made its way to the area of interest where we wanted to take our buy position, and it took off and then it hit our very first target. So we missed out on this for Brent crude oil last week. We have here EURNZD. Last week we anticipated that EURNZD was going to pull back into this area of interest and give us a selling opportunity. Price just tipped the area of interest and then just kept selling, so we missed out on this entry as well. And price is currently at the TP1, so we missed out on this sell on EURNZD. This is also USDCHF. We anticipated that price was going to pull back to any of these areas of interest to give us selling opportunities to our various targets we have below here. Price never came back and then it just kept tanking, so we missed out on this as well. We have here CHF-JPY. CHF-JPY played out as we expected, but then the risk to reward was not encouraging, so we had to stay away from this trade. So we were expecting price to react from this first area of interest. Price came and gave us a nice 4-hour structure shift here and give us this nice higher higher low formation and give us this confirmation candle here, this bullish engulfing candle here. But the risk to reward, the targets we had wasn't worth it, so we didn't take the trade. If we had a bigger target above and maybe 1:3 or something, then we would have considered this trade, but then we didn't get it that way, so we didn't enter this position. And this is AUDNZD. So last week we had 3 areas of interest we were looking out for to get our buying opportunity. Price came to retest this first one. This is the second, this is the third zone. And price retested the very first zone and then give us this 4-hour bullish engulfing candle, a nice rejection candle, and a 4-hour bullish engulfing candle. And we took the entry, I think, right pre-London session also around here, around this bullish engulfing candle, 1-hour bullish engulfing candle. This is where the entry was taken, and then price moved into profit, but then later collapsed and hit our SL. So this was a loss from last week. So let's have a look at the economic calendar for the coming week. It's an NFP week, and this week it seems there's going to be a lot of fundamentals or high impact news. So on Monday we're going to have the ISM manufacturing PMI for USD. Tuesday we're going to have AUD cash rate and monetary policy statement. This is a very high impact news we need to take. We need to pay attention to for AUD pairs on Tuesday, and later in the day is going to be the job openings and an employment change and an unemployment rate for NZD and USD. Wednesday we're going to have the ADP non-farm employment change for USD and then the ISM services PMI for the USD. On Thursday we're going to have the Bank of England monetary policy report and monetary policy summary or official bank rate. This is also a very high impact news we should look out for the British pound. And few minutes after, there's also going to be the Euro main refinancing rate or monetary policy statement, which is also a high impact news we should look out for the Euro. And later on, there's going to be the USD unemployment claims, and then Bank of Canada governor speaking, and then later around the Asian session. We're going to have the governor of the Bank of Australia to also speak. And on Friday, which is the NFP day, we have the CAD unemployment change and unemployment rate, and also the the NFP, which will be the highlights for the week. And later on, it's going to be the prelim consumer sentiments and inflation expectations. So these are the various high impact news we have for the coming week, which you should be looking out for when we are taking our positions as well. So let's dive into the charts and see what we have for the coming week. We have here DXY, and DXY is currently very bearish. Weekly perspective, monthly perspective, and in a daily perspective is very bearish. So going into the next week, we are looking forward to see a pullback into this area of interest to find selling opportunities to the downside. So we're going to wait for price to reach this area and look for selling opportunities around this zone, and then we'll take ourselves to the downside, which since DXY is extremely bearish, this can only be invalidated if we clear these highs and price continues to the upside. So we are very bearish on the DXY for the coming week. We have here EURUSD. So for EURUSD on a monthly, weekly, and a daily perspective are all bullish. So going into next week, we are just going to look out for this pullback to this first area of interest. Should price pull back to this first area of interest, look for buying opportunities to continue to the upside. These are two targets we have for this particular buy. Should price pull back a bit deeper to the second zone we have below, then we are going to look out for buying opportunities from there as well and continue the buys to the upside. Should price break these lows or clear these lows we have here, then we are going to shift bearish on Euro USD. We have here GBPUSD, which is also extremely bullish. So going into next week, we are also going to look out for this possible pullback into this area of interest and look for buying opportunities to the various targets we have here. If price find its way to the second zone as well, we'll be looking out for buying opportunities around this particular zone as well. So should price break below, come all the way and break below these lows, then price has shifted bearish on GBPUSD. This is USDCAD. We had this butterfly pattern formation which is developing and which is yet to complete. So going into next week, we are looking forward to a pullback to this very first area of interest and look for selling confirmations to the downside to complete this butterfly pattern. Should price pull back a bit higher to the second zone above, we'll still be interested in looking for the selling opportunities to the downside. So we are very bearish on USDCAD for the coming week. We have here USDJPY. So USDJPY has also shifted bearish on a weekly and in a daily perspective. And so we're going to be looking out for pullback into this first area of interest for selling opportunities to these targets we have here. Should price pull back a bit higher to the second zone above, then we'll be interested in looking for selling opportunities as well. But if price breaks above or price closes above this structural high, then we would be shifting or continuing the previous bullish momentum that we had from the previous months or weeks. We have here GBPCHF. So last week we anticipated that price was going to pull back into this area of interest to give us selling opportunities. And price pulled back there, but then the confirmation didn't come. So going into next week, we'll still be looking out for a possible pullback here once again and look for selling opportunities to these very targets we have below here. And these are the various targets we have for the sell for GBPCHF. Should price pull back a bit higher to the second zone above, we will still be interested in taking the sells from there to the downside. If price finds its way breaking above these daily structures, then we have shifted bullish on GBPCHF. We also have the EURCHF, and EURCHF is also extremely bearish. The area of interest we are looking out for seems highly impossible, but it's also possible. It can happen. Should price pull back to this area of interest, we'll be looking for selling opportunities to the downside. So these are buyers for EURCHF for the coming week. And if it goes all the way higher to the second zone above, we'll still be looking for the sales for the coming week for EURCHF. So this is our target. The last target we have, which is the TP3. We had this position to this setup from on AUDCHF from last week, where we were anticipating that price was going to shift structure, and price didn't shift structure. So this week we'll still be waiting for price. We'll still be looking out for price to shift structure here, give us a daily candle closure below the structure. We'll find a lower high formation, and then look for selling opportunities to the downside. So we are going to be looking out for this for the coming week. We have here CADCHF. CADCHF is also very bearish. Sorry. So going into next week, we will be looking out for this pullback into this area of interest. Get a pullback into this area of interest. Look for selling opportunities to the downside. Should price pull back a bit higher to the area above or the zone above, we will still be interested in looking for the selling opportunities from that side to the various TPs we have below. If we are able to get a daily candle close above this daily structure here, the price would have shifted bullish. This is EURGBP. So EURGBP last week we anticipated that price was going to pull back. Yes, we anticipated that price was the two scenarios we had was price was going to pull back to this structure point and give us selling opportunity to the downside. We didn't get a very clear selling opportunity from this structure point, and price started selling from there. Going into next week, we'll be waiting for a daily candle closure below the zone and look for. So as we enter the coming week, we're going to look out for a possible daily candle closure below this zone or this area of interest, and wait for a pullback into the area of interest and look for selling opportunities to the various TPs we have here. So this zone we have below is going to be our last TP, but this is the TP1, TP2, and this zone is going to be our last TP if we are able to catch this sell, which we identified as a possible head and shoulder, but it's not very clear, but it is a very subtle one. Which is developing. So this is going to be either the left shoulder, depending on where you pick it. This could be the left shoulder, this could be the left shoulder, and then this is going to be the head. This is going to be a possible right shoulder we have forming here. Then we look for selling opportunities to the downside. So this is what we are looking out for EURGBP for the coming week. We have here GBPCAD. And last week we anticipated that price was going to pull back to this area of interest first before going up. Price didn't come immediately as we identified it, and it later came at the end of the week. So going into next week, we have this nice rejection candle in our area of interest. So going into next week, we're looking out for a reversal pattern or buying confirmation either in this very first zone or this second zone below, and look for buying opportunities to the various TPs we have here. This would shift bearish if price clears these structures and then continues to the downside. So we are still bullish on GBPCAD for the coming week. We also have here GBPNZD, and GBPNZD on a monthly perspective and weekly perspective is bearish. Daily perspective is also bearish as well. So going into next week, we'll be looking out for a possible pullback into this area of interest. Target this as our first TP, and our second TP is going to be the very zone we have below here for GBPNZD. This is S&P500. So last week we were looking out for a possible pullback to this area of interest. Any of these two areas of interest, look for buying opportunities to the various TPs we have here. Price later came to tip the area of interest. But going into next week, we'll be looking out for a better retest or pullback into any of these two areas of interest, and we'll look for buying opportunities to the upside. This can only shift bearish if we get a daily candle closure below the structure point and account for. We get a retest and continue the sales to the downside. So we are looking at the bullish side of things for S&P500 for the coming. We also have a Nasdaq, and Nasdaq we we identified a possible butterfly pattern, which is playing out currently. I think this has shifted. So this is B leg, this is C leg, and this is A leg. So, yeah. So going into next week, we are waiting for a possible pullback into this area of interest. Then we look for a buying opportunity to the upside, to the various TPs we have above. This can only shift bearish if we clear this zone, or even this daily structure clears, and we see a retest and a continuation to the downside. So we are very bullish on Nasdaq for the coming week. We have here US30. We also had a similar setup where we were anticipating that price was going to pull back into any of these two areas of interest to give us a buying opportunity to the upside. Price is finally in our area of interest, so we're going to wait patiently to see if we can get any confirmations around this zone to get our buying opportunity to the upside. So we are also very bullish on we are still bullish on US30. We have here the Russell 2000 or the US 2000. Currently, prices are approaching our area of interest. So what we're going to wait for is to see a retest of this area of interest, look for buying opportunities and take the buys to the upside. This is our TP1, this is our TP2. Should price pull back a bit deeper into the second zone below, we'll still be interested in taking the buys to the upside for Russell 2000 or the US 2000. We have here German 30. German 30 has also approached this area of interest, so we're going to look out for some buying confirmations or reversal patterns within this area of interest or this second area of interest we have below, and look for buying opportunities to the upside. So we are also very bullish on German 30 for the coming week. This can shift bearish if price breaks or clears this zone and continue to the downside. The final one for the week is France 40. We were looking out for possible reversals within this zone to take our buys to the upside as a last week, and we've not yet found any clear reversal or buying confirmation around this zone. So we are going to wait patiently to see how price develops, and we look out for the buying opportunities to the upside. Or should price pull back to this zone below and give us that buying opportunity, we'll still be interested in taking the buys to the upside. So thank you so much for sticking through to the end of this video. I really appreciate your time, and I will encourage all of us to apply proper risk management to all our trades, and then trade safe and sound. I asked for a fruitful and a profitable week ahead for all of us, and I'll catch you guys on another episode. Take care, and check out the Telegram group where we'll be sharing updates of the setups as the week unfolds. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you guys. Bye bye.